something has wormed into my brain. I feel like I must make tortellini goulash soup. I don't know what this is, but I have an extra can of family-sized tomato soup, and I feel like this is a great start. So we're gonna wing this, and we're gonna see if this comes to fruition in some form or fashion. Let's do this. You're going to add in 2 metric tons of garlic, right in. A pound of ground beef. In a perfect world, I would use tiny little baby meatballs from the freezer. Those don't exist at my store. Maybe they exist where you are, and I'm not willing to make tiny little baby meatballs for this. Into my pot, dried minced onion. However much you feel is necessary. I like a lot. Chop this shit up aggressively. You do not want your beef to be gray. It should be brown and a little crispy. Our beef is now browned. I am going to add in my can of tomato soup. That is our tomato base for this recipe. Also add in this container of reduced sodium chicken broth. But of course, I'm going to pour it into my tomato can first to get all of the goodness out of the can. Here is where I'm going off script. In my mind, this is what needs to be added next. It is a spaghetti sauce packet, and I'm gonna add half of it, see how I feel. It's possible we might use the whole thing. It smells good. I'm using the whole thing. Executive decision. But I am gonna add another can of water. Stir it around and let it come to a boil. How could I forget? I wanna add in a healthy squirt of tomato paste. Probably 2 tablespoons. That looks good. For richness, I also have a Parmesan rind. I'm going to drop that in. Should it fully disintegrate? Great. If it doesn't, I'll pull it out at the end. Let this boil. I found these rolls. They're cheese sub buns, and I slathered them with garlic butter. I'm gonna toast them. My soup is officially boiling, so I'm going to add my tortellini right into it. Usually you would boil these separately. I just figure I have a pot of boiling liquid, might as well just kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm using 2 packages of tortellini. It won't open. Get it all over your shirt. That's important. Gingerly. We don't need to make a mess. This is not noodly enough. I'm gonna add in some real noodles as well. I have some squiggly noodles, and my children do enjoy a good squiggly noodle. So we're gonna throw some of those in here too. Approximately 3 large handfuls, or a half a pound-ish. Stir that shit around. While this is bubbling and boiling, I am going to shred in some real Parmesan cheese. If all you have is sprinkle cheese, add that in. I don't care. I'm sure it'll be fine. Remember, there's a Parmesan rind inside of the soup. It will add some Parmesan-y flavor. Stir this around. We will top our individual bowls of soup with the required amount of Parmesan per each person's specifications. Here you have it, tortellini goulash soup. And I know what you're thinking, is it even good? And honestly, I had to taste test it to see when the noodles were done, and it is good, but let's try this. Shred some fresh Parmesan on top for funsies, for cutes, for pretties. As much as you feel necessary. Let's try this. This is so hot, but this is so good. Make this shit. But of course it's good. I made it. Follow along for more aggressive tutorials.